This experiment is very different than the experiments that we have conducted before. The Market for Lemons experiment is basically an experiment designed to demonstrate that asymmetric information causes market failure and to illustrate how legal and regulatory institutions can remedy that market failure. What is asymmetric information? Well, it's simply the case when one party has more information than another party has. And the party who has that information can exploit it to their advantage. So let me give you just a brief description of what will happen. Essentially, students will be assigned roles similar to what happened last time. Buyers and sellers are in a market where goods may be of high quality or low quality. Now there's the difference. Last time when we had textbooks, all the textbooks were the same, which is the reason why we could lop them all into one category and all buy and sell in one simple market. Now sellers will either choose the quality of good that they would like to sell and set an asking price. Buyers purchase from the selection of available goods. So the buyer value and the seller costs for high quality and low quality goods are given by this table. So for example, if you have a high quality, in this case we'll refer to it as an MP3 player, the buyer value would be $100 and the seller cost would be $85. It certainly makes sense that you'd expect a higher price to emerge from such a product. For the low quality ones, there's still value to the buyer, but it's a lot lower, it's $65. And of course the cost of producing a lower quality MP3 player is a lot lower, it's $55. So you'd expect in the end the market price to be a lot lower for the low quality MP3 players. Now buyers are going to gain the same way they did last time. That is, they gain consumer surplus. It's the buyer value minus the sale price. And the seller is going to gain the same thing that he did last time, produce a surplus. It's the sale price minus the seller cost. But note that more total surplus is generated by sales of high quality goods than low quality goods. Therefore, if buyers can be certain of the quality of the good they're buying, the theory predicts that high quality goods will trade in the market. So initially what we're going to have is what we call the full information variation. That is, buyers can perfectly observe the quality of goods in the market. That is, in this case, theory predicts high quality goods will be sold since they generate a greater surplus. Then we're going to do another variation, and the other variation is called the hidden information variation. Buyers can observe the quality of goods in the market. Now in this case, theory predicts that low quality goods will be sold since buyers correctly believe that sellers have no incentive to produce high quality goods. And then finally, in the consumer protection and warranty variations, those are two separate variations of the experiment, sellers are able to advertise their goods as high or low quality with penalties for falsely advertising low quality goods as high quality goods. And in these cases, the legal penalties for false advertisement allow sellers to send a credible signal of quality. And theory predicts that, once again, only the high quality goods will be sold. So the major change between the experiment and the previous versions is that sellers now choose the quality of the good that they'll sell rather than having assigned to them. Now in this case, I can tell you with all honesty, the estimated time of completion is likely to be a lot longer than the 30 or 45 minutes that we spent last time. I know it says 30 to 50 minutes here, but it could go as long as an hour. I'm going to try to be as efficient as I possibly can. But I want to just give you a breakdown as to how things are going to work out. Each variation is going to consist of 5 2-minute rounds, 30 seconds of countdown, 90 seconds of market activity. In addition to the consumer protection and warranty divisions, there's a 20-second period in each round in which buyers decide whether to return or upgrade any low-quality goods that they may have purchased. Now, if we're a little bit pressed for time, we'll run the 4 rounds, each of the full information, the hidden, and the consumer protection variation, and this will take slightly under half an hour. But I really don't want to do that. I feel like this is our last experiment and I really want to give you the full treatment here. So since we have a little bit more time, we'll add the 4 rounds of the warranty variation. This adds about 10 more minutes. You run the 5 rounds of each of the variation, only if I feel like you're not really getting it at this point. But I think for now, I think students are starting to get a better feel for what's going on. So here is a look at the roles. In each of the variations, half the students are going to be assigned the role of a buyer in the market for the MP3 player. The other half assigned the role of seller. Students switch roles between variations. And note that this is a change from the previous experiment, which students were assigned a role for the duration of the experiment. There wasn't any way I could control that. This time I'll be able to control that. Buyers are assigned a buyer value for high quality goods and a lower buyer value for low quality goods, and they're going to try to buy one good per round, just like we did before, and try to get the biggest gain possible. Sellers are assigned a seller cost for high quality goods and a seller cost for low quality goods. They're going to try to do the same thing, sell one good per round for as much gain as possible. And so here are the variations of the model. Oops, we got blocked here. Let me see if we can return back to where we were. The first variation will be full information. Buyers and sellers have full information about the quality of goods. It's 5 rounds there, 1.5 minutes each in duration, plus a 30-second pause between rounds. The second one is going to be hidden information. Buyers have no information about the quality of goods. Sellers only know the quality of their own goods, and at the end of each round, each buyer discovers the true value of the good he or she has purchased. There'll be 5 rounds for that, 1.5 in duration, 30-second pause. Then we'll do what's called consumer protection. Sellers can choose which quality to advertise, even if it doesn't match the actual quality of the good. At the end, buyers discover the true quality of the good. Buyers can return the good if it's low quality that was advertised as high. Sellers are charged a $5 restocking fee if their good is returned. There's a total of 5 rounds, 1.5 each. In duration, 50-second decision period at the end of each round and a 30-second pause between rounds. The final variation is the warranty variation. In this case, sellers can choose which quality of a good to advertise. It may be different than the actual quality of the goods. Sellers can choose to offer a warranty on their product. At the end of each round, buyers discover the true value of the good they purchased. If a buyer purchased a low-quality good that was advertised as high quality and it had a warranty, he or she can upgrade to a high-quality good at the expense of the seller. If a buyer invokes a warranty, the seller is charged $35 for upgrading the product and $5 for handling the return. There's a total of 5 rounds, 1.5 each in duration, plus a 15-second decision period at the end of each round and a 30-second pause between rounds. All right, I hope this all makes sense. If you have any more questions or comments, please don't feel afraid to send me an email or call me on my cell phone. Take care and best wishes.